Welcome back to Pastor's Morning Walk on this sunny fall morning here in North Carolina. It's a Monday, and I always appreciate Monday mornings and the opportunity it gives for meditation on what we learned in the Lord's house. The Lord blessed our sermons. I'm thankful for the opportunity to preach. I took my lecture given on Saturday at an officers' colloquium on church unity and turned it into a sermon on the text 1 Corinthians 1:10, that there should be no divisions among us, but we should be perfectly joined together in one mind and in one judgment, and also speak the same things. The church must labor for unity. This has been a theme in my thoughts and in my pastor's morning walk, so I won't go on at length. But I do encourage the listening to that sermon if you have time. And in due time, probably this week, we'll have an edited version of the colloquium address out. It's a bit more lengthy. I give 16 hindrances to church unity and a number of helps or labors to be done to seek that unity. And I pray that for the men there and for others who may listen, these principles would sink deeply into our minds. We need men to labor for the unity of Christ's body. In the afternoon, following on the theme of unity, I discussed a promise of unity in worship. Malachi 1:11 says that God's name will be great among the Gentiles through their salvation, their universal salvation from the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, and that the proof of that salvation would be in their making of a pure offering of incense in every place. We talked about incense and how it itself is a reminder of the purity God requires in worship, as He instituted a particular kind of incense, and the ingredients had to be mixed just right in the even proportions, and they were not allowed to use any strange incense. God patiently and clearly teaching the people through these pictures in the Old Testament ceremonial law that He has the sole right over His worship. And you should recall that in Leviticus 10, when even the priests offered strange fire, they innovated in some manner, perhaps in the recipe of the incense. They were destroyed. God despises additions to His worship. So we rehearsed that, but concluded with the encouragement, not just that it is our duty to seek pure worship, but it's God's intent that He seeks it, and He will have it. It will be a fruit of the international salvation that He will work. Indeed, that He's promised to His Son in giving Him the nations for His heritage. And so we ought to labor and hope, even though at this time, the pure worship offered to God is like a small wisp of smoke in the midst of a great cloud of noxious vapors coming from the church today. For it seems, instead of purity, that superstition is the rule in church. The godly should lament this, but they should take hope and be encouraged in their labors for the purity of worship, that God will make it happen. I have finished Proverbs recently, and I'm always struck by Proverbs 31. I encourage its reading by godly women and by godly men, for it's useful for us to know the domestic character and the virtues of godly womanhood in this disgusting feminist age in which we live. And I'm well into the book of Ecclesiastes now, and how we need to hear this message of the vanity of this world, that we would not put our hope in the things of this world. Struck particularly by Solomon talking about all his agricultural projects, how he planted vineyards and fields and trees, even set up, no doubt, an ingenious system of irrigation by which pools fed the trees. And I myself have taken particular delight in gardening and plants. Not that I'm very good at it, but it has been an interest of mine in the past. We enjoyed a harvest of sweet potatoes one year at our house, for example. And I hope to teach a little bit more of that in the co-op in the year to come. And these things, they have their place. We have to eat, and we are given permission to take delight in all the good things of this world. That's part of God's command: be fruitful, multiply, have dominion. But they cannot be our hope or our focus. And the sinful heart wants to put these earthly things first, and that is an abuse of them. The safe way to use this world is by understanding its vanity. Solomon learned this the hard way, and God wrote this book through him so that we would not have to learn the hard way. Learn it by faith before you have to learn it by sad experience. This world is vain. It's a puff of smoke. It comes and goes. Its pleasures, though good gifts of God, are to direct us to the giver and not the gift. And we should hold the gift very loosely, and only as a means of serving and worshiping the giver. Well, finally, as we come to school here, I look forward to preaching one of the best texts in the Bible, an excellent summary of Christ's mediatorship, his mediatorial work. John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. And this is a reminder of what I hope you'll never miss, and I pray will be a continual theme of my ministry. Christ is the only Savior, sinners. You cannot be saved unless you trust in him. So come to Christ, walk on the way, believe the truth, and have the life through him. May he bless you today.